The rain pounded against the cracked pavement, each drop a tiny explosion in the dim glow of a flickering street lamp. A woman stood alone, her soaked delivery uniform clinging to her shivering frame, a greasy pizza box trembling in her hands. Her name was Elena Voss, and she wasn't who she appeared to be. Beneath the tattered cap and smudged makeup, she was a billionaire CEO, one of the most powerful women in America. But tonight, she was testing the man she'd loved for a decade, her husband, Nathan. Would he recognize her? Would he love her, even like this? Or would he shatter her heart? Stick with me for this unbelievable story of betrayal, revenge, and redemption. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now to join our storytelling family. Elena's heart raced as she approached the iron gates of their sprawling mansion in the Hamptons. The wind howled, tugging at her cheap polyester uniform, the kind worn by countless delivery workers hustling through New York's unforgiving nights. She built a tech empire, Voss Industries, from a single laptop in a cramped Brooklyn apartment. Now, her company was worth $12 billion, and her name was whispered in boardrooms across the globe. But success had come at a cost. Nathan, her husband of 10 years, had grown distant, his late nights and vague excuses piling up like unpaid bills. Whispers of an affair had reached her, carried by loyal friends and nosy tabloids. Elena needed to know the truth, not as the untouchable CEO, but as someone ordinary, someone invisible. She pressed the intercom buzzer, her breath catching as static crackled through the speaker. "Pizza delivery," she said, her voice low and rough, deliberately masking the polished tone she used in corporate negotiations. The gate creaked open, and she stepped onto the winding driveway, her sneakers squelching in the mud. The mansion loomed ahead, its marble facade gleaming despite the storm. This was their home, a monument to their shared dreams, or so she thought. Elena adjusted the cap, pulling it low over her eyes. The makeup she'd applied, a smudged eyeliner, a fake scar on her cheek, made her unrecognizable. She'd spent hours practicing her slouch, her hesitant shuffle, to embody Ellie, the broke delivery girl she was pretending to be. Inside, Nathan was hosting a party. Laughter and clinking glasses spilled through the open windows, the kind of glamorous affair Elena usually orchestrated. She'd told Nathan she'd be in London for a week, a lie to set up this test. Would he be faithful? Would he show kindness to a stranger? Or would he reveal a side of himself she'd been too blind to see? Her stomach churned as she rang the doorbell, the pizza box a flimsy shield against the truth she was about to uncover. The door swung open, and there he was, Nathan, tall and handsome in a tailored suit, his dark hair swept back, a glass of bourbon in hand. His eyes flicked over her, cold and dismissive, not a hint of recognition. "You're late," he snapped, his voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Pizza's probably cold." "What kind of service is this?" Elena's heart sank, but she forced a timid nod, playing the part. "Sorry, sir, the rain slowed me down." She held out the box, her hands trembling, not from fear, but from the sting of his tone. This was the man who'd once proposed to her under a starry sky, promising forever. Now, he barely looked at her. Nathan snatched the box, tossing a crumpled $10 bill at her feet. "Keep the change," he sneered, already turning away. But then, a woman's voice called from inside, sultry and easing. "Nate, who's at the door? Don't tell me you ordered pizza again." A figure appeared behind him, Vanessa, Elena's former assistant, now draped in a red dress that cost more than most people's rent. Her arm slid around Nathan's waist, possessive and bold. Elena's blood ran cold. Vanessa, of all people. The betrayal hit like a punch, but she held her ground, her disguise keeping her emotions hidden. Vanessa's eyes narrowed as she took in Elena's bedraggled appearance. She looks like a drowned rat. Why is she still standing there?" Nathan laughed, a cruel edge to it. "Probably begging for a tip." "Get lost, kid. You're ruining the vibe." He stepped forward, looming over her, and for a moment, Elena thought he might recognize her. But he didn't. Instead, he pointed to the gate. "Out." Now, the words were a blade to her heart. She wanted to scream, to tear off the disguise and confront him, but she held back. This was only the beginning. Elena turned, her sneakers dragging through the mud as she walked away, the laughter from the party echoing behind her. But as she reached the gate, Something shifted inside her. The pain hardened into resolve. Nathan didn't just fail her test, he'd revealed his true self. And Vanessa, she'd pay too. Elena wasn't just a scorned wife, she was a woman who'd built an empire from nothing. She didn't break as she strategized. By the time she reached her car, hidden a block away, a plan was forming. This wasn't the end. It was the start of her revenge. The next morning, Elena sat in her Manhattan penthouse, her real self restored, a sleek black suit, hair pulled back, her presence commanding enough to silence the room. She stared at her laptop, pulling up files on Nathan's recent activities. As CEO, she had resources most could only dream of: private investigators, financial auditors, and a network of loyal allies. She'd given Nathan everything: access to her wealth, her connections, her trust. And he'd thrown it away for Vanessa, a woman who'd once begged for a job at Voss Industries. Elena's fingers flew across the keyboard, drafting an email to her head of security. Dig into Nathan's finances. Every account, every transaction. I want to know where my money's going. Over the next week, Elena pieced together the truth. Nathan had been siphoning funds from their joint accounts, funneling them into offshore accounts linked to Vanessa. He'd bought her a penthouse in Miami, a sports car, even a yacht, all with Elena's money. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was financial treason. But Elena didn't confront him yet. She needed to be surgical, to dismantle his world piece by piece. She started by freezing his access to their shared accounts, cutting off his lavish spending. Nathan didn't notice at first, too busy parading Vanessa at high society events, oblivious to the storm brewing. Meanwhile, Elena continued her disguise as Ellie, the delivery girl. She took shifts at a local pizzeria, delivering to Nathan's favorite haunts: his office, his gym, his country club. Each time, she watched him, cataloging his arrogance, his flirtations with Vanessa, his dismissal of anyone he deemed beneath him. One night, she delivered to his office, catching him yelling at a junior employee over a minor mistake. "You're worthless," he spat, his voice dripping with contempt. Elena's jaw clenched. This wasn't just about her anymore. Nathan's cruelty extended to everyone. She'd make sure he answered for it. The turning point came at a charity gala, one Elena had funded for years. She attended as herself, the billionaire CEO, dazzling in a silver gown that turned heads. Nathan was there, Vanessa on his arm, both unaware of the trap closing around them. Elena had arranged for Ellie to make a delivery to the gala, a stack of pizzas for the staff working behind the scenes. As Ellie, she slipped into the kitchen, her cap low, listening as Nathan and Vanessa laughed nearby. "That Voss woman thinks she's untouchable," Vanessa said, her voice smug. "She's too busy with her company to notice what's right under her nose." Nathan chuckled. "Let her stay clueless." "More for us." Elena's hands shook as she set down the pizza boxes. She wanted to storm out and confront them, but she held back. Instead, she activated the next phase of her plan. She'd hired a team to leak evidence of Nathan's embezzlement to the press anonymously, of course. By morning, headlines screamed, "Tech mogul's husband caught in financial scandal." Nathan's phone exploded with calls from reporters, his face paling as he read the articles. Vanessa, meanwhile, distanced herself, her social media suddenly scrubbed of their cozy photos. Elena watched it all from her office, a glass of wine in hand, her heart a mix of pain and triumph. But she wasn't done. Elena invited Nathan to a private meeting at Voss Industries, claiming it was about business. He arrived, disheveled and desperate, begging for her help to clear his name. "Elena, I made mistakes, but I love you," he said, his voice breaking. She leaned back in her chair, her expression unreadable. "Do you?" she asked. Then, she slid a photo across the desk, a still from the mansion's security footage, showing him kicking Ellie out in the rain. Nathan's eyes widened, his mouth opening and closing like a fish. "That was you?" he whispered. Elena stood, her voice ice cold. "You failed, Nathan. Not just me, but every value we built this life on." She revealed everything: her disguise, her discoveries, his betrayal with Vanessa. Then, she dropped the final blow: divorce papers and a lawsuit for embezzlement. "You're done," she said. Nathan begged, tears streaming down his face, but Elena walked away, her heels clicking on the marble floor. Outside, The city skyline glittered, a reminder of the empire she'd built and would continue to build, without him. Months later, Elena stood on a stage, accepting an award for philanthropy. The scandal had faded, her reputation stronger than ever. Nathan was gone, his assets seized, his social circle vanished. Vanessa had fled to Miami, her dreams of wealth shattered. Elena, meanwhile, had launched a foundation to support women escaping toxic relationships, funded by the money she'd recovered from Nathan's accounts. As she spoke to the crowd, her voice was steady, her eyes bright with purpose. She'd lost a husband but found herself. The rain had stopped falling in Elena's world, replaced by a clarity she hadn't felt in years. She'd tested Nathan and uncovered a truth that broke her heart, but it also set her free. As the crowd applauded, she felt a weight lift, knowing she'd not only survived but thrived. Hey, amazing viewers, what a journey that was. I'm dying to know where are you watching this video from? Drop your city or state in the comments below, and let's see how far this story travels. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic tales like this one. Until next time, keep shining.